Texans fans, it's finally time we talk CJ Stroud. We watched him ball out his rookie year. We watched him lead this team back to the playoffs 3 times, and then it felt like we hit a roadblock in that divisional round disaster against the Patriots. 4 interceptions in one game, and more importantly, 4 interceptions in one half. And it kind of flipped the narrative overnight. I know I was even pissed off, but I was questioning, is Stroud the guy? Did he peak too early? Is it time to hit the reset button at the quarterback position? But I'm here to tell you that 2026 is the year that CJ Stroud wins the fan base back and then some. And no, this isn't bias. This is backed by some advanced stats, a complete roster overhaul around him, and a quarterback who's only getting better. Let's break it down. First, we have to be honest about last season. Stroud threw for 3,041 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions in what looks like a down year statistically. But if you dig into the advanced metrics, the story changes completely. According to PFF, he posted a 72.9 overall grade, which is 21st among qualified quarterbacks with a solid passing grade. Most importantly, he finished 7th in the entire NFL in EPA per play at 0.164, the best mark of his young career. His EPA plus his CPOE composite was better than guys like Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, and several other big name quarterbacks when you adjust for situation. The truth? Stroud is playing behind one of the worst offensive lines in football in 2025. PFF had the Texans' offensive line ranked around 27th. He was under constant pressure, forced into quick decisions, and still produced at an above average level on a per play basis. Then one ugly playoff game in brutal conditions against the New England Patriots became the entire story. CJ Stroud hasn't really had a regression. He's just a guy that's been playing with one hand tied behind his back. Now, if you look what the Texans did this offseason, they didn't just tweak things. They went nuclear on the trenches for their quarterback. We signed veteran tackle Braden Smith from the Colts on a 2-year deal. We added all-pro guard Wyatt Teller on a 2-year deal as well. Then we traded up for an athletic guard, Keelan Rutledge, out of Georgia Tech, who's most likely going to play center for us. And we also re-signed Trent Brown, Ed Ingram, and brought in Evan Brown for depth. This, in my opinion, is a legitimate upgrade to what was a bottom-tier unit in the NFL. It's better pass protection, meaning that Stroud gets cleaner pockets, more time to scan the field, and fewer hero ball throws under duress, which we saw against the Chiefs last season. He'll take fewer sacks, he'll have fewer hurried decisions, more of the elite accuracy and poise that we saw in his rookie year. But the Texans didn't stop there. Someone I talked about recently, we traded for David Montgomery from the Lions to be the lead back, a proven physical runner who excels in short yardage and pass protection. Pair him with former rookie, but going into his second year now, Woody Marks, and an improved offensive line, and suddenly the Texans have a legitimate run game that can take pressure off CJ Stroud and set up the play action. When you give a young quarterback time and balance, magic happens. And another thing I want to touch on, it's not just the roster for CJ Stroud. It's about the scheme and his personal development. Offensive coordinator Nick Caley is entering his second year calling plays. In year one, it's safe to say he had his growing pains, but that's what every play caller has. Caley has publicly talked about how much he learned and how excited he is for this upcoming season with CJ Stroud. And then CJ Stroud himself, he's in a prime spot. He's only 22 years old. He's already shown he can progress at an elite level when protected, and the advanced numbers show that the talent is still there with him. Now adding continuity, better coaching, and an offensive line that actually gives him a chance. It's a make or break it year for Stroud. It's a prove it year for Stroud. The contract extension talks have been stalled. The Texans exercise his fifth-year option, but that second big deal hasn't been signed yet. That fire, that chip on his shoulder, that's fuel. We've seen what a motivated Stroud looks like. Expect a hungrier, more aggressive, more precise version of it in 2026. And the supporting cast around him is nasty. You have an improved offensive line, an improved run game. You have Nico Collins, one of the best receivers in the league. Dalton Schultz, who's coming off the back of a really good season, adding Marlon Klein to be a blocking tight end in there as well. You have Hutchinson, Higgins, Knoll all developing. Tank Dell coming back, which I think is going to be huge for the locker room as well. And then that defense is already one of the best in football. And it got even better with the addition of safety Reed Blankenship. Daniil Hunter's returning. Will Anderson's going to continue to terrorize quarterbacks. And this unit can keep games close alone or put the offense in great field position week after week. As I said, you still have Nico Collins as that true alpha receiver. You have Dalton Schultz who's going to be that reliable target, and enough weapons like Knoll to stretch down the field. With better protection and a real run game, Stroud won't have to force it. He can pick defenses apart like we know he can. This is a complete team built to contend, not just make the playoffs, but make noise in January. So what does 2026 look like for Stroud? I'm predicting a clear bounce back. 4,000 plus passing yards, 26 or more passing touchdowns, single digits in interceptions, and a QBR comfortably in the top 15. More importantly, the Texans are being picked by a lot of analysts as legitimate Super Bowl contenders or at least the top 2 seed in the AFC. By week 8 or 9, when the full team is humming and the offense is humming even more, the wins will begin piling up. The same fans who were frustrated last January are going to be wearing Stroud jerseys again and chanting his name at NRG. Because that's what happens when you give talented young quarterback the tools he needs and he delivers. The narrative flips fast in this league. We saw that with Josh Allen. Texans fans, it seems like 2025 was the last straw. 2026 is his playoff year. CJ Stroud is about to remind everyone why he was the second overall pick. The pieces are in place, the motivation is real, and the advanced metrics never lie. This is the season he wins you back, in my opinion, and takes this franchise to new heights. So I think it's going to be a fun ride. Y'all let me know what y'all think, but this quarterback who has shown the poise, the accuracy when he has had an offensive line is able to get his offensive line back. And that's why that prediction comes in. He gets a new run game with a new lead back who can actually take pressure off of him. Will the team from a 3rd and 1 or a 2nd and 4 to continue to churn out first downs? The defense only got better, so the field position is only going to get better. You have receivers who are going to continue to develop to take pressure off CJ Stroud because they'll get more separation. They're training against the best defense in the league in training camp, which is going to be an iron sharpens iron moment, in my opinion, where the offensive line's only going to continue to get better when they're going against Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson Jr., Cade McDonald now, Sheldon Rankins, Tommy Togiai, Aziz Al-Shaair, Henry To'oTo'o, Petrie, Stingley, Lassiter, Kamari Ramsey now, Blankenship, Bullock. This team, in my opinion, has a floor of the divisional round and the ceiling of winning the Super Bowl. And that's thanks to the quarterback. He turned around this franchise in 2023 alongside DeMeco Ryans. He led us to 3 straight playoff wins in 3 straight years, which is something the Texans have never had before. You've never made the playoffs 3 years in a row. And thanks to CJ Stroud, we have accomplished this feat. Last year, you could say it was more on the defensive side of the ball that helped us, but you still need that quarterback in there that you can depend on. And he had some big performances in there, like that game against Kansas City, where we're 6-5. We need a win to overtake them in terms of the playoff picture, and CJ Stroud absolutely plays hero ball and delivers. So one bad performance against the Patriots. Did it have me doubting CJ Stroud? Yes. But do I think he'll bounce back? Yes, at the same time. With a new offensive line of Ursary, Teller, Rutledge, Ingram, and Braden Smith, I think the floor of the team's got a whole lot higher, and the ceiling of the team has got a whole lot higher. But let me know what y'all think. Again, do you think this offensive line will be enough to unlock CJ Stroud, or do you think CJ Stroud's finished as a quarterback in the NFL for the Houston Texans, and you think we'll be moving him on after this year? Again, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. In my opinion, I told you, I think CJ throws for over 4,000 yards. He throws for over 25, 26 touchdowns. He doesn't have double-digit interceptions. And his quarterback rating, his EPA, his CPOE is all going to be in the top 15 for quarterbacks, as it was last year, besides the quarterback rating. But again, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, and if you do think CJ Stroud's going to win you back, then please be sure to like, subscribe, and strap in. It's going to be a fun ride. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.